discussed. This is the theoretical aspects of this base. Okay. Would you like to ask anything? Because after that, rest of the 4 videos are regarding the practical part of this base. Anything you want to ask? Yes. So if you so, then let me end my class here today because I don't want to go. Next class I will go for the practical part, and before that, please all of you, as soon as I get the upload part is done in some IT area, I will let you know and provide you the link, and all of you will be posted download the link and get it.
Can you hear me? Anyone please respond?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's start. So
वो इंस्ट्रक्शंस चेक फॉलो करके तुम AWS में कर सकते हो या खुद से भी कर सकते हो या मेरा वाला जो
okay, so in the last class, we have actually discussed about a few concepts like starting from the concept of set. We have actually discussed about the relation in the last class, and we have started the concept of function, right? So let me start from the concept of function today. Okay, so yes, so yeah, so last class when we are discussing about the relations, I gave some examples like is it visible what here in this white space?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yes, sir.
So what we considered, we have actually considered two sets. The set A was the set of all girls in my class, and set B was the boys of my class. Okay, then we have put different restrictions, and by putting different restrictions, what we get different relations. Now when we are actually started talking about this function, someone actually told that the functions are nothing but like some machines, right? So that was not my version, that was your version, right? And I give an example of a machine, like if I have a machine like a machine which forms sugars, okay, then what we have from this side we can insert sugar cans, and from this side we are getting some sugars. Okay, the work done by this function, this machine is simply called a function. And in the last class again I asked you what was the English meaning of function, then some of you actually answered me that function is nothing but some work done. And I told you that in mathematics also the function is nothing but the some work done. Okay, some work done. If we do some work, okay, practically or mathematically, so it will become a function. But the expression, the way to express some work done may be different based on the subject, right? So in mathematics, we have different ways to express the work done. Okay, so we'll discuss about that. So let's start today's class with the concept of function. Okay, now before going to the main content, so I just want to ask you one thing. If anyone of you remember, of you people remember, that what was the mathematical definition of function? So do anyone remember that definition of function? Do you remember anyone? What was the definition of function, the mathematical definition one? Okay, Dorpan, please.
Function, sir, if means A and B are two empty sets, sir, then
Empty or non-empty?
from set A to set B, there is a method.
Empty or non-empty, Dorpan?
Sir, non-empty. Sorry,
Okay,
non-empty.
okay. Then?
Sir, non-empty.
Okay, all right, then?
Sir, if elements of set A are related to element of set B, there is an association between them.
Only association is essential, right? According to you?
So in English, we can say that set A has a unique element of set B. Means.
There isn't? Okay, so there is some confusion
of
what you
set
actually...
A.
Yeah, element of A. Okay, all right, Drapan. Thank you
Means,
for what you tried actually. Do you get some different
I
answer?
could not make you understand
Okay,
properly.
okay. If you have any problem with the language, you can express in Assamese also, if you want. Nazrul, yeah, Nazrul.
Function is a special type of relation.
Function is a special type of relation, but what are the specialty about that function?
Sure, I forgot.
Okay, all right, all right. So that was a statement I actually given in the last class, right? So function is a special kind of relation, but there are some specialty, right? Anurag.
Sir, it is a Cartesian product between two non-empty sets.
Oh, that is what about the Cartesian product, right? So but my question was the relation. Okay, it's all right. Oh, let me discuss. Okay, as you say that the function is special kind of relation. Okay, so what are the specialty? What are the Darpan, please unmute yourself. Darpan, please mute yourself. Uh, what are the specialty about function? So I'm not going to give the mathematical definition, no? Okay, but let me give two conditions here. Okay, so if what happen if we have a relation, and if a relation satisfies these two conditions, the first condition is what? There is no element without a connection in the first set. Okay, so what I've written here, there is no element without a connection in the first set. Okay, and the second condition is what? All the elements, okay, or let me write in the negative sense, there is no element which with multiple connection in the first set. Okay, so I have just given here two conditions, and if these two conditions are satisfied by some relation, then we simply say that particular relation is a function. Now, one thing we have to very careful, that when I'm giving these two conditions, both the conditions only for the first set. Okay, so whether a relation will become function or not, it's only depending on the first set. If we are defining some relation from A to B, and if that relation satisfies these two conditions on the first set A, the only we need to look at the first set only, and if they satisfying both the condition, we can say that yes, that is a function. Now, what are the conditions we have? There is no element without a connection. Okay, there is no element without a connection in the first set. Okay, that means what? That means, in other words, we can also say that so every element must have a connection. Okay, every element of the first set must have a connection. What about the second condition? Second condition says that there is no element with multiple connection. Okay, with multiple connection. That means what? There is no element with multiple connection in the first set. That means what? Every element of first set must have single connection. And according to the first condition, every element must have a connection. And according to the second one, every element can't possess more than one connection. That means what? Multiple connection means more than one connection. So a element may not possess more than one connection. According to every element must have a connection. Then if we combine both, if we combine 1 and 2, then what we can conclude? That every element of the first set of a relation must have a single connection. And if this happen, we can say that the relation is a function. Okay, again I'm telling you, this is not the mathematical definition, this is for the better understanding about the functions. Okay, if we think about, yeah, about a relation like this, about a function like this, I think it will be easier for us to get the concept very clearly. Okay, now look at the examples I have given in the last class. Okay, so I have given some examples of relation in the last class. Now, what about the first one? So this was R1, and if we look at the R1, so what about the first condition? The first condition is violating. There is an element called Y which says no connections, right? So the first condition is violating by this relation. So if the first condition is violating, then we will not go for the second one. Okay, although the second condition is also violating by this, because the element X has two connections, it has multiple connections, so the second condition is also violating by the relation R1. So as a conclusion, what we can say, that R1 is not a function, although this was a relation. All right. Now, what about the second one? Look at the second one. This is R2. Okay. So, what about the first condition? Are there any element with no connection here? And I think no. So, X and Y both are engaged, both are connected. All right. The first condition is satisfied. Now, what about the second condition? The second condition is what? X and Y both have a single connection. X has single connection, Y has single connection, and yes, the second condition is also satisfied by this R2. So, as in conclusion, we can say that R2 is a function. All right. So again, I'm telling you, when I'm defining a relation, I'm checking, when I'm verifying whether a relation is function or not, we are only uh, look at the first set. We are not looking at the second set. So second set, anything may happen with the second set. Okay, we have no issue with that. Again, here also we are only looking at the first set. Okay, anything may happen with the second set. Now, so let me call someone. So like Anzar Hussein, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Anzar. So what is your opinion about R3? Whether this is a function?
No, this is not a function
Why?
because both of the element of first set has no connection with
No
second set.
connection. All right. Or you can say there are some element in the first set with no connection. Right. Thank you. Thank you. Now, so according to him, that R3 is not a function because there are some element in the first set which have no connection. So it's violating the first property. If it's violating the first property, we need not look at the second one. So the conclusion is this is not a function. All right. So again, let me call another one, Ashish Kumar. Can you hear me? Okay. Ashish Kumar.
Yes, sir.
Ashish, so what about this? What about R4?
Sir, in for the first condition is valid, but
Okay.
in the second condition, yes, sir. But
Yes.
in the second condition, X has multiple values,
Okay.
multiple connections.
Okay. So what is the conclusion?
So it is not.
It's not a function.
Oh.
So thank you, Ashish. So yeah, let me call someone like Dajum Zini. Can you hear me? Dajum Zini.
Yes, sir.
So are you agree with I forgot his name, sorry. About R4? So is
Yes,
it a
sir.
is this a function or not? R4 is a
Sir, which
function
one?
or not?
R4.
R4, yes.
No, sir.
Why? Why? Someone has just mentioned the answer right before you. Probably he was Ashish, right? So Ashish has given the answer. This is not expecting, right? So Be attentive. Be attentive. Devans, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about R4? What is your opinion about R4? Asa Dorpon, do you have anything to
The
say?
first one is right.
Sir, I had a question.
Okay, yes.
Sir, this means in first set, sir, they may have same connection, but not multiple connections. Sir, sir, in R2, X and Y has a same connection with N.
Don't look at the second set. Don't look at the second set. So there are some another definition dealing with the second set I will discuss about later. But right now we are only discussing about function. When we are defining or verifying whether a relation is function or not, we'll only look at the first set. Is it all right?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, so Ashish has given the answer right before that this R4 is not a function, because although the first condition was satisfied, but the second condition was not, because it has some element with multiple connection. X and Y both have multiple connection. Now we have two more examples. Let me call Kalpataru Bora. So Kalpataru, can you hear me? Kalpataru, can you hear me? Kalpataru, can you hear me? So again, I'm repeating, if I ask someone for 3 times and if I'm not getting any response from your side, then you will be removed from my class. Okay, I have already mentioned this thing, and I will not allow you to join my class again. So this is the last warning, okay? So from the next class, I am going to do this. So I will call for 3 times, okay? And if I'm not getting any response, see, I may not hear your voice due to your bad network, but here I will get some the sign that you are trying or something else, okay? I'll get to know that, okay? I may not get your voice, but I will get that whether you are trying to say something or not, okay? That's why if I'm not getting any response from your side after calling you for 3 times, so I'm going to remove you from my class. So from the next class, and you are not able to get the attendance for that, okay? Although you can see my video from the YouTube link, there is no issue, but you are not going to get the attendance, and the attendance are very important, okay? Probably you know about that. Okay, so let me call Imon. Imon, can you hear me? Imon, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Imon.
Yes, sir. Hello.
What about you? What about this R5? What about this relation?
Hello.
Yes, I am
Hello.
hearing you.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
I am hearing you, Imon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So what about R5? Is it a function?
Sir, I didn't get it.
You didn't get it. Why?
Sir, not able to understand.
Which part? Hmm?
Functions.
Which part?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm getting you.
Hello.
Which part? I'm getting your voice.
Functions.
Now, which part of function? From this class, starting of this class, I am discussing about function. But where is your problem?
Starting.
Starting
From R1.
So if you have any kind of problem in the very first part, then why you have not raised your hand at that particular moment?
So actually, I am not at home.
Okay, then go to the YouTube video. Go to the YouTube video, and if we still have any doubt.
No, sir. So
Okay.
I'm in hospital, so my mom is not well. That's why.
Okay, it's not an issue. You can if you have
So
any
that's
kind
why
of
I'm
issue,
doing
that
from
kind of
hospital.
issue, then you can leave this class. I am not an issue. I will consider those kind of cases. Okay, we can
So no, so
understand
I'm
those. Okay, all right,
so
all
I'm
right,
too
all right.
recording this one. That's so.
All right, all right. So I will again. I'm going to provide the YouTube links. So not an issue in that case. Okay, so let me ask Lotsa Naiso.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me? So what is
Yes,
your
sir.
opinion about R5?
It's a function.
It's a function. Why?
The first set is single connection. So
Okay, so no empty element, no element with no connection, and all the elements have single connection.
single
Yes,
connection.
both the conditions are satisfied. Thank you. So it's a R5 is a
Thank you, sir.
function. Now let me ask about the last one. So to whom? To Ved Mandal. Ved Mandal. Can you hear me, Ved Mandal? Ved Mandal, can you hear me? Yes, Ved. Okay, let me ask another one. Ujjal Nath. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about the R6? So we are not getting your voice, Ved.
Yes,
You
it's a
can
function, sir.
mute yourself. Yeah, Ujjal, please.
Sir, it's a function
It's a function. Why?
because every element has a single connection
Okay, and
and
no.
there is no multiple connection in the first set.
Yeah, though no element with no connection, right? So both the conditions are satisfied. So this is a simple concept of function. Thank you, Ujjal. So the concept is very simple. We are not going to give you the mathematical definition, but the mathematically definition is not a different one. So I have given two conditions here, and these conditions actually we are writing. We need to write in some mathematical word. Okay, when we are giving the mathematical definition, but in this class, since these things are not included in your syllabus directly, so I am giving you this concept for your better understanding. So that's why I'm not going to give the mathematical definitions for this function. Now, few more concepts. Like the last class we have discussed that a function is nothing but some machine, like some machine. I have given the example of the machine which produces the sugars. So we have a machine here. Okay, we have a machine here which produce sugar, and from this side we inserted some sugar canes. Okay, we inserted some sugar canes. So I told you that this machine will work as some functions. Okay, like this we have a different kind of machines also. Okay, where if we consider, where if we insert wheat, okay, then in this side we may get atta. Okay, we may get atta. So this kind of machines also there may exist, right? So there may exist both kind of machines. Now look, both kind of machines are actually doing similar kind of things. So we are inserting something within the machine, or from this side actually we are getting sugars. So here from this side we are inserting the wheat, and from this side we are getting the atta. So we may have some similar kind of machines. Okay, and when we need to describe these things in our mathematics books, so we can't write the whole story that we have a machine of that kind. So machine with these parts, and from this side if we consider the sugar canes, so from this side we are getting the sugars. We can't describe this kind of story in mathematics. Okay, that's why in mathematics what we do, we simply give some names to these things, right? Like this. So this machine I can give a name like F. Okay, so F is just the name. Okay, F is just the name, and I give the machine a name as F. So from this side I can insert either sugarcane or wheat or something else, but whatever I'm inserting from this side, let me call this as X. Okay, this is again something we are going to insert. Okay, and from this side when X is inserted in F, in this side we are actually getting the sugars. Okay, here in this case, we are getting the others, or we may get something else, but whatever we are getting, let me name this as y. So in mathematics, actually we are doing that kind of things. We avoid avoid a big story. Okay, we need not to write a big story to describe something, and instead of writing some big names, we just give the names as f, x, y, like that. And if we now describe these things in mathematical terms, let me describe. So we can describe this. We have a machine called f. Okay, when we inserted x within f, we are getting y back. Okay, so which one is more easier, more beautiful to see? Okay, obviously this version. Okay, we have a machine called f. When we inserted x within f, we are getting y back. Okay, is it look nice, or this one? Which one look nice? Okay, so, and according to me, obviously the second one, right? So f of x equal to 1. So this is simply a function. And that thing, this thing, the x, we call the input of this function. Okay? Okay, this is called the input, or it has some different name. Let me describe with some different name. Okay? For example, instead of considering this as a machine, now let me consider a mirror here. Okay, it's better to remember these kind of terms. Okay, now my machine is a mirror. The machine is a mirror. Someone is standing here. Okay, someone is standing here, and obviously since he's standing before a mirror, so he will get something here. And what we call to this? What we call to this? Others? What we call to
Image.
image, right? Image. Okay, this is called the image. So let me again, this person may be others, maybe Anjali, maybe Anjur, so he may be anything. So instead of calling some with some different names, let me give a name to this particular person like X. Again, in mathematics we do this thing. Okay, instead of calling with different name, let me call as X. Like if I call that X is a student from my class, so that X may be any one of you. Okay, so X may be anyone. So that is the way how to actually give some name in mathematics. Okay, so let we have an X here, and since this mirror is doing some work, so this will become a function. Let the name of this function as F. And here we are getting something. So this is the value output, right? So when X was inserted, when we consider X within F, we are getting this particular element. So this is nothing but F of X, right? This is nothing but F of X. When we consider X within F, we are getting this particular element there. Okay, so let me call this as Y. Okay, Y is the image of X. Like there is some image which is the image of others. Okay, that image will not be same as the image of Anjali. Okay, so those images will be again different, right? So let me call the general image as Y. Now Y may be anyone. Y may be the image of Anjali, Y may be the image of Anjar, Y may be the image of Angsuman, anyone. Okay, so here now see what are the elements we have used. So this particular element, which is nothing but Y, this has a name. This is called the image. This is called the image. And at the same time, can you give a name for X? By considering this situation, forget about mathematics. If this is the image, so what about this person?
Sure, object.
Premise.
Yeah, preimage we can say. Object may be anything, right? So object may be here also, but against this particular thing, so we need something here. So if we call this as image, so this will be called the preimage. Okay, preimage. Okay, preimage. Okay, so preimage. So these are the terms we use in mathematics also. Okay, when we write Y is equal to F of X, then in that case, this Y is called image, and this x is called preimage. Okay, this x is called preimage. So have you get these kind of terms in your high secondary course, image or preimage? Do you get, Anurag?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
see, so these are very easy to remember. Only imagine that the function is nothing but a mirror, and then you just consider what is image, what is preimage. Okay, so any doubt on function? So there are different types of function we are going to discuss. So do you have any kind of issue? If you have, please raise your hand. Yeah, Dorpan.
Sir,
Hmm?
sir means when we do some in questions that there is a word mapping. It
Yes.
comes in the question comes as mapping.
So mapping
So
and
how you means it's
mapping. See, mapping is a synonym of this function. Both are same. Mapping and function both are same. So we can use mapping instead of function. Both are actually the same term. Any more question? Yeah. Kutubuddin.
Hello?
Yeah.
Sir, hello?
শুনিছো কোৱা.
Sir, could you repeat the conditions one?
Actually, I'm not getting your voice clearly right now.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
শুনি আছো কোৱাচোন.
Hello, sir. Audible?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Could you repeat the condition, sir? Could you repeat it?
Actually, can you acha, so
Function?
actually your voice is broken, huh? Kutubuddin? I'm not getting what you are actually saying. Try after some time. Okay, I will answer if you have any kind of issue. Try after some time. So any more doubt from anyone? No. Okay, so see, I have only few minutes left, so it's better to give you attendance. So last class I told you how to give the attendance. Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you from
Yes,
civil,
sir.
yeah, give the attendance first. I will continue after that. So give the attendance first. Do it first. 10 more to give. Do it fast, do it fast. Five more. Five more. Okay, all right. One more. One left, I think. Okay, it's me. Okay, all right. Okay, so yeah. So after defining this function, so we have few more terms. Okay, you probably know from high secondary course. So there are some terms called one function, onto function. Okay, so the first one is called it's a special kind of function, by the way. So one function, function, and the second one is onto function. Okay, so now what about one and onto function? So do you remember someone remember what about the one function and what about the onto function? Anurag, yes.
Sir, are you asking me, sir?
Oh, two Anurags are there, right? So probably Anurag Jadhav has raised the hand. So Anurag Yadav.
Function one pre-image will have one image only.
One?
One image.
Yeah, that's not that clear. One pre-image has one image. So that's not that very clear.
Yes.
Not that very clear. It's all right. You tried. Okay. Dorpan.
Sir, if there is a function A to B, sir, if different element of A have different images in B.
Okay.
So means different images of A.
Yeah, we are getting this. We are getting this. Yeah, you're correct. Okay. So he is correct about one-on function. But again, see, let me make it easier. Okay, let me describe this thing in an easier way. So when I was discussing about function, okay, I told that these two conditions, if they satisfy for the first set, then we'll say this is a function. Now if we replace the first set by second set, okay, so after becoming a function, if something is there which is already a function, okay, which is satisfying both the condition for the first set, now if we replace both the condition for the second set, if some function satisfy the first condition, okay, there is no element without a connection in the second set, then we'll say this as onto function. Okay, the second one, the onto function. Okay, if there is no element without a connection in the second set, then it will be a onto function. And if some function satisfies this condition for a second set, then it will call one function. Okay, there is no element with multiple connection in the second set. Is it easy? If we know only two conditions, from the two conditions we can define the function. Just we need to write the first set, we need to check the conditions for the first set, and if we have checked both the conditions for the second set, then we can actually define, okay, define one and onto function. Any doubt now? So one-on function is very simple. Then there is no element with multiple connection in the second set. So now look at these examples again. So here, now look at the second set. We only look for those which are already function. One-on and onto, these two definitions are only defined for some functions. Okay, so this was a function, this was a function. Let me check for these two. Now here, since there is no any empty element with no connection in the second set, so this is an onto function, and all the elements of this function have single connection, so this is an one-on function again. So here there is an empty element with no connection, so this is not a onto function. A function which is not onto, that is called an into function. So I will discuss about that in the next class. Again, since this element has multiple connections, okay, then this is not a one-on function. All right, so any doubt? So I have only approximately 1 minute left, so I will discuss this concept. I will start from this concept in the next class. So if you have any kind of doubt, you can say. You have only 1 minute left. Anyone?
Sir, hello sir.
Yes.
Sir, one function to ever bujai dibo neki aru ebar?
Yeah, I'll repeat this thing in the next class. Question what are significance? Yeah, I will actually discuss about this thing in the next class. Significance of one-on and onto function. Yeah, Aradhana. Okay, all right. So probably we are going to end. So it will automatically end. So thank you, everyone. So if you have any kind of query, we'll discuss in the next class. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.